Good evening, guys, from Tampa Bay. I was debating doing this update video on the bike, but not a good idea for multiple reasons. One, it started to rain again. Two, it's Saturday night. It's pushing 11 o'clock and I am dead tired. Been going since sunup. Got to do it all again tomorrow. Okay, tons of stuff going on. Very exciting stuff that has been going on the last week. I'm probably going to jump cut this a few times because I'm going to try not to forget anything. There has been so much happening. So much to update you guys on. Okay, first of all, you can see the bikes are packed in here pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ride them anytime soon. Hopefully within a couple weeks. But for now, this garage is storage area. I'll get to that in a bit. So the last video update, I'm trying to remember where I left off. I told you guys that we changed our plans. Plan A was build our dream house immediately in Tennessee, which we could have done, but it would have cost us more than we were willing to give up. Most of the wife's pension, she would have to have worked until she's 74 as a teacher. No, she was not looking forward to that. We would have had to sell this house, rent up there for the year or so that the new house would have been built, and more importantly, for her to be established in her job, because we could not get a construction loan without her already being working within 100 miles of the build site in Tennessee. The school system doesn't really work like that. It's not a normal job where you can just walk in on Monday and be working on Tuesday. They have listings and they have schedules, and she didn't really want to leave this new job that she just got this year. She's in her dream classroom position right now, high school algebra, brand new tech school, brand new everything. Everything's great. So that was plan A. Plan B was similar, but shot down for much of the same reasons. Buy a pre-made house in Tennessee and maybe build in a couple years, build some equity in it, yada yada yada. Well, all the same conditions really applied. So plan C was, okay, fine, northern Florida, almost as good, still cuts a lot of commute time for me off. Build a dream house, maybe somewhere up in Jacksonville. Yeah, that's when her I don't want to leave this new job came into play. She's like, well, you know, that's not really my dream area. Okay, I can respect that, not mine either. Don't even know much about it. So, okay, well, how about around here? Let's just get a great house. We're on plan D now, by the way. Get a great house in a hot area in the Tampa area somewhere that's going to appreciate within the next few years. If we happen to find a great house that we just flat out love, stay there. Bam, done, beautiful. If not, look for one that we can sell in 5 to 10 years. That's going to build great equity in a hot area, great house, yada, yada, yada. That will allow us to then build wherever we want. Still in Florida, of course, for the pension, but more options. This house will never grow. We'll never even touch $200,000. Not even close. It's almost 50 years old. Even though everything here is updated and new, it's 50 years old. It's a small house. It's a 2-bedroom. It's never going to be a great equity house. So you need to move on up. That's all there is to it. So last week we finalized our plans. Okay, we're going to sell this house immediately, find a great house in Wesley Chapel, Land O'Lakes, maybe parts of Zephyr Hills. Didn't know. We have not really visited the areas at this point, but those are the hot 300,000 to 400,000 in the next decade homes area. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Newer construction, something that isn't going to need a roof or AC system right away, something we can just live in and enjoy like we're leaving. I'm not interested in renovating another house. Not fun. Okay, so we got our plan. Got a realtor. She is so far doing an excellent job. Happen to know Ashley. She works for Remax. And by the way, if anybody in the Pasco area here is looking for a great realtor, contact me. I'll hook you up. I've already hooked up 2 people with her that are coming in the same area that we're looking to go. So we had to start getting the house ready. She came over, and we have the house as we normally live in it, cleaned up for company. That's about it. So she came over, quick evaluation of the house, got a game plan in her head. We talked, we agreed with things, and signed the realty contract. This is the plan, this is what we're gonna do. She said, all right, now here's your guys' task. Declutter the house. Basically, of course, I work from home. We have Chloe who's walking around the garage in here, and we're gonna have people to show the house to. And if Chloe wasn't here, we just put a lockbox on the front door and call it a day. But I need to take her with me out of the house whenever there's going to be an appointment. So we decided to not do a lockbox. She's just going to give me an hour notice, and I'm going to take Chloe to the library under the trees in the shade and hang out, until she says, okay, come on back. Whatever, that's fine. No problem with that. But the house needed to be in model home, in showroom condition, to really show off the house. We had it bursting at the seams. I mean, every room jam-packed with crap, just stuff everywhere, every closet, every nook, every cranny, floor to ceiling in some cases, just stuff. And 95% of it was the wife's. She's borderline hoarder, definitely better now, but yeah, just keeping stuff for you. We had stuff that we moved with us into this house 12 years ago that hadn't been touched. Like, wow, I remember that. Brush off an inch of dust. So yeah, that's really worth keeping, huh? Okay, long story short, 40 kitchen trash bags full of trash. I had to use neighbor Tim's across the street trash allotment twice, and they still got pissed and still didn't take 2 batches complete of trash. I still have some bags in here that have to go out tomorrow night. Pissed off the trash guys. 40 bags worth. Spread it out over a week to get rid of it. 2 full carloads in my Kia Soul of just donated women's clothes and shoes. I'm talking the 55-gallon yard trash bags to the ceiling, packed in there. It was 12 or 13 of those huge bags, and there's still one in there that I have to take back over to get rid of. So that cleared out a lot of space. It really did. Then we sold a bunch of stuff. Because she's no longer working at home, going back to the classroom, we sold a lot of her home office here, which was very unique and had some very high dollar stuff. She had a walking desk. For those of you who don't know, it's like a treadmill. It's not an exercise treadmill. It only goes at slower paces. It's wider. It's not an incline. It's got a built-in table, basically, that you build your desk on. So during the day, instead of sitting in a chair, you're walking, usually about 2 miles an hour, 1.5 miles an hour, just fast enough where it's not affecting your voice because she's on the phone all day, or was. So that was like $1,500. I think we got 7 for it. That's par for the course for any kind of exercise equipment. You're lucky to get half. And it was in brand new condition, of course. It was only used less than 2 years. I had set her up with a really slick multi-monitor setup. One of them was wall-mounted so that she could use it on her walking desk. It was a big ultra-wide. And then I set her up with a big 27 Dell on her regular desk. So she had a laptop, and she could either work on the couch on the laptop or sit down at her desk, have the big normal monitor, or be on her walking desk and have the ultra-wide. So sold the monitors, got about half for those, but still better than nothing. Anyway, just sold whatever we could that we didn't need and was worth selling, basically. The only thing I couldn't move is an old helmet. I've got a RF 1200. It's a double XL. It's currently sitting at $50 on Craigslist and all the local motorcycle groups and for sale groups around here on Facebook. I had one piece of crap that was a no-call, no-show, and then the next day he had his wife message me. Oh, my husband changed his mind. He's a pussy. So, whatever. I'll just keep it. Don't know what to do with an old helmet. I mean, it's in perfect condition. It was used about 2 years, but it's too big for me, so can't use it. Anyway, that's the only thing left. Gave away a whole bunch of stuff, and threw out a bunch of stuff. Most of the furniture. The only furniture that we have left that we didn't give away is our main couch. We've got a nice big leather sectional couch. We've got a great coffee table that raises up. Very functional, very hard to find, but great construction. That thing's 14 years old. Good as day one. I mean, it's solid wood. So that's real cool. It rolls around. My entertainment glass stand just holds my AV equipment, and my TV is also mounted to it, so I don't have to wall mount it and punch holes. I think that's it. We're keeping her office desk because I can use it. It's a commercial IKEA desk. Excellent quality. If you need really good, high quality office equipment, go to IKEA in the commercial section. Totally different than their home stuff. Their home stuff, frankly, if you go in there for any of the desks, rickety crap. Looks great, some of the features are excellent, the quality is useless. I'm the type where if I can bump the table or move my hands or the mouse or anything and the monitor shakes, that's a complete fail. That drives me insane. And I use a huge 34 ultra wide, so any little jostle is amplified with that thing. But the commercial stuff, rock solid, same as any kind of office equipment, right? And they've got different tiers. We both got the same desk. She, of course, just copied me after I got it and saw, wow, that's a really good desk. I want one too. It's big, it's oversized, didn't really fit in the sole, had to have the backup to get it home, and it barely fit in diagonally, right? It adjusts vertically to different heights and then locks down. They also have an electric version of it if you want it powered. So you can make it a standing desk or a sitting desk at command. That's like an extra $100, but reasonably priced. Anyway, that's IKEA commercial stuff. 2 of those desks, my office is pretty much intact. I am an anti-pack rat. If I have something, except for tools, I'm just talking general stuff. If I have something and I have not physically touched it, I haven't used it in a year, it doesn't need to be here. Sell it, throw it out, get rid of it, whatever. It's just taking up space. So I don't have that much extraneous stuff, and everything I have is in perfect condition, so I can sell stuff at will. Sold an old lens. It was back from my wedding days, and I would only use it. It was an extreme long zoom. I'd only use it at the back of a church or for very specific portrait shoots. So it was a fairly specialized tool, but very expensive, and I got a little over half for that. They hold their value pretty well, but it was 1 generation old, so it didn't hold all that much. But it was in 100% like new condition. Buyer was extremely happy, and that's that. That's about it. I do have a lot of older photography equipment that is simply not worth selling because it's too cheap. Like, I've got a bunch of old Canon bodies. I mean, going back to like the 30D, right? I would imagine, I haven't looked lately, but I would imagine they're like $40 on eBay, if that. They're so old. We're talking like 8 megapixel cameras. It's a great camera. It was a very good camera when it came out. Served me well for many years. But it's completely outdated, very basic video, and that's all the rage these days. So I'm just holding on to it. No point in getting rid of something that's cool and, not worth giving away. Really, nobody's going to want it anyway. No professional is going to want an old piece of equipment. So, house got cleared. And I'll put a link down below to our Zillow listing. We have a video, but the realtor doesn't know if it can go up. I took it with my gimbaled GoPro, so it's a nice walk around. There's no audio in it. She wants to do a voiceover, but it looks like Zillow makes you only use your phone to upload a video, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's a horrible idea. That just encourages crappy videos to go up. But it looks like that's the only way you can put a walk around video in a listing, other than an external hosting, which I'm going to ask her to do. I'm just going to host it as an unlisted video on one of my YouTube channels and just put the link in the listing. The downside to that is if you have an actual embedded video from the Zillow app, they increase your listing ratings and your views. So it really is advantageous to do it, but they limit you to a crappy phone video. What are you going to do? But anyway, if you want to see how it turned out, how it is right now, and how we're going to keep it until we have a contract, boom, there it is. So, got the house done on Wednesday, and the realtor came over, signed with her, and we were off to the races. It went live yesterday afternoon. Went on the MLS database, hit Zillow that evening. Today we already had 2 showings and 2 offers, one of which was above asking. Just phenomenal. So frankly, I am more than happy with this second offer. Few percentages above asking. It's going to cover all costs, and we're going to make way more on it than we expected to. So we're going to give it a couple more days, see what else happens. Maybe we'll get an even better offer. She did say expect a bidding war. This particular area, Holiday, Colonial Hills especially, our neighborhood is simply on fire. Houses are going in days. And every realtor that came over today said the same thing. They looked around and said, wow, this house is going to sell tomorrow, period. We've got it priced low, high enough where we're happy, but lower than others that are in worse condition, have lower floor space, isn't move-in ready, that all needs something. This needs absolutely nothing. Somebody can move in here for 10 years and all you're going to pay is the mortgage. It's all done. It's all new. So we went out and looked at houses because that's the next step. We still have to find a house. And my cigar's out. Too much talking. So we went out and looked at houses, and like I said, we hadn't really spent time in the areas that we were interested in, other than knowing their hotspots, and they have the types of houses that we are interested in. So the realtor gives us a list of, I think we had 6 or 7 yesterday. And boy did we learn a lot of stuff. Now I did not expect to find oh my god, this is the house, put an offer down today. I didn't expect that. I expected to learn a lot of things, and I wanted the realtor to have a more clear idea of exactly what we're looking for. So long story short, the first house we went to was by far the best. Unfortunately, outside our price range. Chances of them lowering the price into our range are slim, but possible. It had only been on the market 1 month, but it hadn't had any price drops. And what we're finding is the homes we're looking at, even though it is a seller's market, they're not selling in days, not like this area. So they're putting out these pie in the sky prices, but most of them have been on the market 3-4 months with 2 or 3 price drops during that time. Now we did have a number 1 pick. There was nothing else we could have done. It simply sold before we were ready. You know, we can't comfortably put down an offer until we have a contract on here, because that's our leverage. You know, we are going in with a contingency on this close, but we're not going to do that until we have a contract. Once we have that, that's not an issue. That's a completely normal thing. But if you do that before, that'd be like somebody coming to buy this and their house hasn't sold yet. It's like, well, I'm not going to hold my house up indefinitely. I don't know how long yours is going to take to sell. I'm not doing that to somebody else. So I'm not even going to make anybody an offer, even if we find something tomorrow. I'm not going to make an offer until we have a contract on this house. Then it's no problem, and they will, you know, accept that contingency because it's a sure thing. Not 100%, but you know what I mean. So, first house, great house. Beautiful layout. Not perfect. Had a lot of carpet. We're not big on carpet. We love hardwood. Got a dog. You know, if you got pets, you know why carpet isn't that great. Don't mind it in the bedroom for quiet, but I don't like it in the main house. Just it doesn't work. But the rest of the house, gorgeous. It was a hike, and this is why we had to visit the areas. It was over an hour from this house, and my wife's new job is about 20-25 minutes in the same direction. She came from her school because she was working to meet us at that first house, and it took her 45 minutes with fairly light traffic, not even rush hour yet. So we quickly decided, even though some of these houses were great, we're not interested in this area. This was just into Zephyr Hills and the outskirts of Wesley Chapel. Hot areas, but simply not worth it for her having to drive that far. Anyway, the other houses we looked at, this is where pictures lie. One of the houses turned out to be a foreclosure, and they used old pics. Well, I think they were pissed when they were moving out, and nobody bothered to really clean or renovate the house because it was kind of trashed. It needed everything. I mean, kitchen, bath, new floors. Forget it. Again, not renovating a house. And they were asking a premium price like it was move-in ready. I mean, absolutely insane. There's no way they're selling that house anywhere near that price. It's going to sit there forever. Another house we went to, guy was weird, man. He was like the 40-year-old virgin, and he had religious stuff in every room in the house, like shrines and prayer mats and Bibles spread around the edges of the rooms. And I mean, it was like, dude, are you trying to sell your house or not? He didn't do anything to make the house presentable to a potential buyer, and he was still there when we got there. And of course he drove a Prius. Should have seen that coming. So the house itself, again, it's like he had no clue how to prep a house. I know how to prep a house for a sale. Every little nickel room, anything that would catch a potential buyer's eye, any deal breaker, I fixed it, I replaced it, did whatever I had to do to get rid of that issue. He didn't do squat. First issue, walking up to the door, had like a paved walkway, and then it went up to a fatter brick or tile part of the walkway. Well, the edge was cracked, and all the bricks were like coming unhinged, so you step on, you're wobbling on these bricks. Dude, this is like a half-hour fix. You know, if you don't do that, what else aren't you doing? And he didn't do anything. I mean, the house needed a lot of little things. Plus, one of my must-haves in the house is shooting space, both for tulip session and cigar session. So I have to have somewhere outdoors. Excuse me. Go in the back. He had a nice covered lanai, which is one of my requirements, looking right into the neighbors' windows. I mean, the houses might have been 20 feet apart, and we're like, oh, hi, no fence. I'm like, great, you know. So we're looking at a minimum of $5,000 in cash to put up a fence. It was a big lot. So, nix that one. Anyway, that's how they went. And some of the pictures, I use the pictures to eliminate potential problems. Like if the AC is in the back, I can't do it because I can't have that AC noise doing a video. You know, if the kitchen is completely outdated, or it's using cheap Formica or something, or if the cabinets are too, we ran into a house where the cabinets were about 4 inches low, like the old style. And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm doing all the cooking, right? So I know the kitchen. And I try to put my hands on the table, on the counter, and I'm like, ugh, I'm leaning over, I'm like, what? Like, this is not normal. And the realtor said, no, these are completely normal. I said, bullshit. I'll bet you 20 bucks right now, these are low. Sure enough, I come home to my almost 50-year-old counters, no bending, nice and tall, totally normal. All the other houses normal. So just weird stuff like that, you know, that's what we found. So the pictures don't tell you any of that kind of stuff. Another house had great floors, nice hardwood floors, right? Look beautiful. They cheaped out and didn't get the quality padding. I know about that. I spent the good money on the ultra quiet padding when I put in our wood floors. Every step through the house, crack, crack, crack. I don't mean like creak, groan. I mean snap, crackle, pop. Everywhere you went. I'm like, oh, I mean, just pointless, absolutely pointless of doing the work if you don't do it right. Ran into that kind of stuff all over. Just bad decisions after bad decisions. One house, it didn't really show in the pictures, but in person, it was like the Golden Girls worked there, man. You had this faux paint all over the bathroom counters. In the pictures, it looked like marble or maybe some kind of granite. No, it was Formica that they did like the sponge painting all over. You'd have to gut the bathroom. It's like, now I know why these houses are sitting on the market 3-4 months. Price drop after price drop after. So they're going to continue. But anyway, that was a great experience. It taught us a lot of things. And now, tomorrow, starting just after dawn, the wife and I are going out to Land O'Lakes, and we have a big list of new homes to hit. Not brand new homes, but a new list to hit with the realtor in Land O'Lakes. We're just taking that area tomorrow. And I'll tell you, there are a couple on that list that look very promising. Downside is the HOA. There are only 2 on there. And of course, they're the nicest homes. The ones that look move-in ready, that tick the right boxes. And they're like $200 for an HOA. And that's compared to the others that are like $6 to $10 a month, right? So it's a big difference. So one of my check boxes on what I'm looking for is garage space. Obviously, I need a place for the bikes and I need a place for the tools. And what you see in this garage is a fraction of what I have. I have a separate whole workroom off this garage that the size of a master bathroom. And originally it was a bathroom here in the garage, but it's got a great workbench, and I've got pegboard in there. It's got cabinets and shelves where I've got all my bike parts and I don't know, like 20 bags of charcoal and some spare motorcycle tires. That's a lot of room, a lot of stuff. Of course, no houses we've seen of anything like that, but I wanted a 3-car garage, right? Okay, that would definitely give me all the space I need. No problem there. They're not that popular. They're really not that popular. Less than 5% of the homes built around here. I mean, there's certainly some available, but every house that we look at with one so far has had other big deal breakers, like the kitchen's way out of date, or they try to make it like a 5-bedroom house where it should really be a 4, so every room's really small. I need a large office. I don't want to work in a 10 by 10 bedroom. That's what a lot of these work out to be when they cram it into a 5 or a smaller square footage with a 4. I'm looking for an office space at least 12 by 12. And for that, you got to get the ones that are, say 2,200 square foot, 3 bedrooms. Those give you the nice open floor plans and the bigger rooms. And that's some of what we're looking at tomorrow. But not really having any luck with the 3-car garages. However, we did find some with oversized 2-car garages, which is a little bit more than what we have here. We have an oversized here, but only because these homes have the laundry facilities in the garage. That's just the norm of the day when these were built in the early 70s. So I have an extra 4 feet of length in this garage. And if the washers and dryers weren't there, well, that would be where I put all my tools and stuff. That would be fine. And I also have an extra foot of width on either side. So I've got my mower completely out of the way of where the cars go. I've got all my tables here completely out of the way if I parked a car in here. But a lot of garages, they're 20 by 19 or 20 by 20. And it gets a little cramped. But I did find some oversized ones. So, okay, I'm going to give up my absolute need of a 3-car. As long as it's got enough space in a 2-car, golden. Well, that opened up a lot more avenues, and that's what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. I'll tell you, one, I don't remember if it's on the list to look tomorrow, but I'd like to see it, just to see it. If we were looking for a forever home, I would, just from what I know now, I would seriously put an offer on it. The interior, perfect. I mean, everything we're looking for. The hardwood, just redone. New AC, new roof, new gourmet kitchen, granite, the works, everything. Beautiful. Here's the cool part. It has a separate building. They call it a mother-in-law suite. It's a man cave. It's another 2-car garage. It's AC'd. It's got a kitchen. It's got a bathroom. It's another 500 square foot building. Separate. Just in back of the house. I'm thinking, dude, that is both studios in one. My product photography studio. I can smoke in air conditioning. I can work on the bikes and set up a permanent studio. I mean, that would be the ultimate man cave. Here's the kicker. Very hard to move. It takes, and this has been on the market a while, but it's cheap. I only want $245 for it. If we had to sell it, we would be sitting on it for months because it takes somebody weird. The main house is only 1,600 square feet. So the ad says 2,000. That includes the 490 or whatever that separate one is. So my worry is, if we got into that, how are we going to unload it? And here's the other thing, it's not going to appreciate that much because it's kind of out in the country. It's not in an HOA, so it is right next to other houses, but they have big yards. And looking on the satellite, you got boats, you got trailers, you got stuff parked in the yards. It's pretty much just a bigger version of exactly where we are. And we're moving for a reason. So I want to see it. I got to see it. You know, it's too cool not to at least look at. But it's not seriously a consideration. We're definitely looking for something in the middle ground. Now, as far as the HOAs, I told you that 2 of them are pushing $200 a month, a little bit over that. It does include, the whole fitness center, a great pool, your garbage collection. So that's offset a little. I think we pay $25, maybe $30 a month for garbage here. And she wouldn't have to have a pool membership at whatever gym she's at right now. So I mean, that would be an offset. Okay, it would take it down to say $160 a month for an HOA. Not terrible, especially split in half. So I'm willing to entertain that, especially if these houses are as nice as they appear. And like I said, they're the only 2 that appear move-in ready. And I'll tell you, this one ticks all the boxes. Really does. I'm excited about it. Not excited about that HOA, but I'm excited about the house. Everything. It's got the kitchen. It's got the space. I think it's 2,400 square foot. I'm looking for space to entertain. I have hearths. I sometimes have 30 people over. It's got a great outdoor space, great covered lanai, and a screened-in area. It's high-end. It's brand new. I think the house is 3 or 4 years old. So, no concerns about the roof, the AC. Any settling's been done. Any problems have been covered under the builder's warranty. And we're just paying that little bit of premium over what they built it for. Totally willing to do that. So I'm excited to see those. Those 2 homes, they're in the same neighborhood, just down the street from each other. We're seeing those first. So I'm gonna bet that we're gonna see those, and that's gonna set the high standard. There's one that the wife's very excited about because it has a pool. And here's what she doesn't have. I've had a pool. It is hundreds of dollars a month in maintenance, chemicals. Even if you're ultra cheap and you do the very bare bones maintenance, anybody with a pool is going to agree with me here. Even if you buy all your stuff at pinch a penny, do all the work yourself, bare bones chemicals are going to run you $50 a month. I mean, and that's probably conservative. That's about what it was running me, and the pool wasn't in great shape. Could have used a little bit more. I'm not a pool expert, right? The killer is electric, because that pool pump has to run a minimum of a certain number of hours, depending on the design and the efficiency of the pump, every single day. And those pumps are big. I mean, it's like running a garage door opener consistently. Those are half, 3/4, 1 horse, depending on the pool. And this is a pretty good sized pool. I don't know what the minimum would be, but I would guess 6 hours. I know my last one, I was running it for 8. That was the minimum to keep it blue, keep it clear. So that's hundreds a month in electricity just for the pool. And I'm like, honey, if we get a house that has a community pool, yes, we're paying more in the HOA, it's still cheaper than having your own pool. I completely understand having your own pool is great, especially with people over. It would be great for me. It had a nice, it was all bird caged in, and great place to film. Okay, it ticks my boxes, but it's more money. So she was kind of shooting down the HOA houses. No way I'm paying that much. You don't understand. It's not that much more than what we're paying now for a pretty good benefit. So that's where we're at. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. All right, well, I think that's it. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Oh, I did. Keto diet. I will do a longer video maybe on cigar obsession later. I'm when did I start that? I'm a week and 2 days into it. Kicked it off with a 3-day fast. By the way, if you're watching this and had seen the CO vid from a day or two ago, feeling much better today. Had a couple days there where I was feeling like crap as my body is adjusting. Today, totally normal. Pretty good energy, as a matter of fact. Pretty alert. It's kind of like I'm on coffee, but I've only had my normal morning quad espresso. But I feel good. I'm down 9 pounds, 9 or 10 depending on weight when I weigh myself. I weighed myself this morning. I try to do it the same time each day after the morning routine. And I did plateau there for a few days, 3 days or so, and now it's dropping again. And I'm still getting used to the regimen. It's really not that much different than what I was doing. My appetite is completely curbed right now. The fasting really started shrinking my stomach. I haven't 100% cut out carbs, but I'm under 10 grams a day. I have a little bit from the splash of my low carb milk that I use in my espresso. It's literally a splash. You can't even measure it. I mean, it's just for color basically. And I'm not eating any kind of breads or anything like that, and that really is no big deal. I'm not craving those. I don't have a sweet tooth, so I don't crave sweet things. I'm actually finding it hard to eat as much as they want you to. I ran the metrics for me and what I want to do, and holy crap, they want you to eat a lot, just a lot. So I'm only eating when I'm hungry at this point. Up until yesterday, I had been eating what they said, and I was just like, oh, I can't eat this much meat. I can't eat this much fat. I'm just walking around stuffed. So today, I just ate if I felt hungry. I had some grilled sausages. They only have 1 gram of fat each, not 1 gram of carbs each. It's just from some added sugar that they put in it for flavoring. And another really cool thing is the protein shakes I got at Sam's. They are 30 grams of protein. So much easier for me to do those than a whole ton of meat to get my protein. Love them. They're only 1 and 2 grams of carbs depending on the flavor. So totally good with that. There's somebody pulled up right now looking at the house. This house is going crazy on Zillow. It's #1 in the entire area. Really cool. Had a whole bunch of people save it on day one, hundreds and hundreds of views. Now some of that was from me sharing it with my group, but it's blowing up. It's really cool. Yeah, they are staring me down hard right now. Kind of weird. But anyway, keto's going great. I'm just going to keep it up, as long as I want to. That's it. So thanks for sticking around. I will have ride videos absolutely as soon as I can. I just don't know exactly when, because we are absolutely in crunch time. Every day right now is just slammed with stuff. I have to be ready in a moment's notice to take Chloe and go so people can see the house. And most importantly, we have to find a house ASAP, because this is going to go in a couple days, and we need to be able to make an offer immediately on what we want so we can get the moving process complete. We're doing a simultaneous close. So that's it. Oh, I feel better. It's just somebody dropping off the neighbor kid across the street. That was weird. It's happened already. there have been people driving by today just stopping and looking, you know, just because they saw the ad or the listing. All right, that's it. I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of the cigar and sweat because it's freaking hot. Thanks for sticking around. See you guys later.